chance to let you know some of my background. I'm 15 years old and I've lived in Port Huron, Michigan my entire life. My family has always been more science focused. For example, while every toddler learns the song Twinkle Twinkle, my family had their own version. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, a fusion reaction is what you are. And our dinners were accompanied by episodes of Bones, and when it's not football season, we have Science Sundays, where we watch documentaries or do experiments. So obviously STEM topics are my thing. A couple years ago, during Alice Kratz's project, To Honor, to Remember, my family ordered POW MIA wristbands, and my mother explored newspapers to learn as much as she could about each serviceman. When reading about one of the soldiers, Dale Wright, she learned that his body had been brought back home, and through her social network, learned about the existence of the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency, otherwise known as the DPAA. The next year, during Mario Brady's project, Forget Them Not, the Kids of Michigan Society, M.S.C.A.R, learned about large numbers of POW MIA from all wars. All of this has stuck with me, and last year's project, headed by James Kratz, Bringing Honor, added to my desire to honor those who have given their all. My goal is to help the DPAA identify veterans that have passed away in battle, and due to circumstances of that battle, were unable to be brought back home to their families. The DPAA is an organization that is based around using science to identify deceased veterans and bring them home to their families. The DPAA has identified around 34,000 dead veterans out of the 83,000 plus that were originally listed as POW MIA. Their work uses forensic science made popular with shows such as Bones and CSI. They are a Department of Defense agency and are funded through the regular military budget, but Section 523 of the John S. McCain National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2019 authorized the Secretary of Defense to accept and use gifts of money, property, or services made on the condition that the gift be used for the purpose of facilitating accounting for missing persons. This authority has been delegated to the director of DPAA. The DPAA funds are used in many ways, not just running DNA tests. It starts with identifying a location where a body may be located. When we visited the laboratory in Honolulu, we were shown the sole of a sandal worn by a local that helped investigators figure out where a plane went down. The sandal was rubber taken from a downed aircraft tire. The DPAA team was able to locate the crash site by working with the locals. Boots on the ground in these foreign countries are imperative and expensive. Once the site is identified, an anthropological, team is sent in to excavate. Their process involves one research and investigation team, or RIT, of 10 to 14 members who are primarily analysts and linguists. Their job is to research archives in the host nation, museums, government museums, etc. Investigate any leads in last known alive cases, which is still our number one priority, and obtain oral history from host nation military and government officials that may have been broad information about a particular region or battle. They can develop 30 to 40 new leads out of this. The agency can also form investigative teams, consisting of 4 to 9 members with specialized skills: team leader, analyst, linguist, medic, and sometimes anthropologists. Hey, say a word. Their job is to follow up on the lead sites of the RIT through interviewing potential witnesses, conducting on-site reconnaissance, and surveying terrain for safety and logistical concerns. Their goal is to obtain enough information to correlate or connect a particular site with an MIA. Their findings and recommendations determine what will be scheduled for recovery. Currently, they have 23 recovery teams, including 1 underwater and 1 mountaineering team. Each team consists of a forensic anthropologist, team leader and sergeant, linguist, medic, life support technician, communications technician, forensic photographer, explosive ordnance disposal technician, and mortuary affairs specialists. Recovery teams use standard field archaeology methods in excavation as directed by the on-site anthropologist. And that's just to find the bodies of the servicemen. Once they are recovered, they are brought back into the forensic lab in either Honolulu or Nebraska. Here the scientists take over. If you have ever seen an episode of Bones, you are familiar with the process. Using the skeletal remains, they identify as much as they can, including sex and race. They are also able to use radiography for identifying bone breaks, but the most reliable method is using DNA. Many people have taken commercial DNA tests, like on Ancestry.com, which uses autosomal DNA. But the DNA used by DPAA is called mitochondrial, or mtDNA. Because of these many cases are many decades after death, the autosomal DNA has broken down and the mtDNA is all that is left. Throughout the last couple of years, my family has been sure to keep an eye on the DPAA page for Michigan soldiers coming home. This year, I hope that we can help the DPAA bring more Michigan service people home by raising awareness of their mission. I ask that you think back if your DNA might help a relative be identified. In the state of Michigan, there are over 2,800 service people still unaccounted for. The DPAA is still looking for possible DNA connections for many of these Michiganders. All of this can add up quickly, and while the DPAA is funded through the military, they have asked for our help in being able to fund missions. Today, I am asking that you not only open your minds to think about if you or anyone you know may be a potential DNA donor, but also open your wallets to help offset these costs. In Michigan, I'm not supposed to say that. Never mind. Our plan this year is to use social media, including TikTok, to let the world know about the DPAA. I will be posting brief bios of soldiers and sailors that never came home. We plan to include fun activities, as well to draw up more interest in M.S.C.A.R. It is my hope that in order to honor, to remember, and forget them not, while fulfilling our nation's promise, let's continue bringing honor by bringing them home. Thank you.